Hi, this is Carl the Cobra Frutch, and you're watching Lights Out.
This is Faisal Khan for Lights Out, proudly sponsored by Spartans Law, and I'm delighted, privileged, and honoured to be joined by one of Britain's most exciting talents in boxing today, Shabaz the Maverick Masoud. Shabaz, good evening, brother. How you doing?
Thank you, brother. How you doing, man? How you been?
I'm all right, thank you. Thank you very much for asking. You tell me, how have you been? How's the family and how's life in Essex treating you?
Alhamdulillah, life's good, man. Family back in Stoke, and I'm just come back to training for the next few weeks, and then gonna be home for the holiday seasons, and then for New Year I'll be home, and then come back, inshallah.
Good, good. I'm glad to hear that you're doing well. I'm going to rewind back to the first ever time I interviewed you. I said to you about what is it that really gets Shabaz Masoud in the mood for boxing? What is it that really, gets him fired up? And you said once I start being in these 50-50 fights, once I start being in a fight, that you'll see the best. And you took on Jack Bateson a couple of weeks ago. It was arguably the biggest fight of your career. There was a bit of needle in the build up to the fight. You can imagine two undefeated fighters trying to move on to the next stage of their career, and you put in a career best performance. Let's just rewind back to that performance. How happy are you with the end result and the way you performed tonight against a fighter like Jack Bateson?
I was very happy with my performance. I felt like even if it did go to points, I felt like I won the fight comfortably. I was coming back to the rounds, and I was saying to Ben, "Oh, I'm pick you up now a bit more. I'm gonna pick you up a bit more." Like I knew I had gears still in me to go through. But how did you find the fight?
Well, I was actually very excited for the fight because two young fighters, two undefeated fighters, two fighters who I've interviewed in the past, and I've got to say have come across as really professional, and both have, huge ambitions for the rest of their career. And I thought it was a good fight. But I think the main positive about that fight is we had two young British fighters putting their O on the line early on in their career, and I thought that was the main positive. But I thought you performed really well on the night, and I've got to give credit to Jack Bateson as well.
100%, man. He's a tough man. He's a very, very tough guy, man. He took some shots. Some of them shots have landed on other kids, and I've wiped them out, and they hurt people a lot of the times. But credit to him, man. He come to fight. You know what I mean? Showed a lot of heart, but I felt like I still had gears to go, man, and dominated, you know what I mean? Dominated and then got him out.
Well, now that you've had your first major test and we're coming towards the end of the year, I know you want to be busy. I know you want to be active for 2023.
Smoke. 2023 is just smoke season. I'm stepping on everyone's toes. Everyone knows what the crack is. Everyone knows who the boy is. I'm just leaving everything to my management. Ben Davison's my manager now. Whoever he puts in front of me, that's who's getting it.
Ranked number 2 in Britain, 2023 is going to be a massive year, especially in that super bantamweight division. Above you, Liam Davis, who's just picked up the European title. Yeah. I'm pretty sure that's the number 1 target, right?
Listen, I'd love to fight him. He knows me. He's knew me for years. We've fought twice when we were younger and stuff. And listen, I'm confident I beat him. I beat any of them, any super bantam in the country. But this is the thing. Leave it to management, see what they say, who's the next opponent. I don't decide. I just leave it to the managers because I've never said no to anyone. I've always wanted the biggest fights. You know that yourself.
Yeah, every time I've spoken to you, you've always said that you're looking for belts, that you want to be in these 50-50 fights. So I can't doubt you on that. But talk to me about those 2 times you fought Liam Davis in the past, and what have you made of the way that he's come up this year as well?
It doesn't mean anything then, because it was amateurs. It was amateurs. So it don't mean anything to me because since the amateur days, I've gone so much more better. And I feel like if I had the knowledge that I have now as an amateur, I would have done so much more. But I turned over quite young. I did it on the small old shows first, and then built my way up. So I feel like, yeah, I beat him twice, but it still doesn't mean anything. I think I beat everyone as a pro as well.
Well, where you are right now, I mean, you're part of a very good stable, being trained by Ben Davison, whose reputation is growing in a very positive way. As time goes on, you're currently living in the same house as Lee Wood. You're down in Essex training 5 days. I mean, it's been a fantastic year for you. What do you say what would you say that's been the sort of main positive looking back on this year for you, Shabaz?
Not even that. I've been with Ben now since April 2020. No, May 2020, and I met up with Ben. I got with Ben, and then I flew out Fuerteventura that summer, and I've been with Ben for about 2 years, and there's a lot of struggles I was going through at the start. I didn't even fight for 16 months as well when COVID kicked in, and I didn't get no opportunities. Everyone else was getting the chances. I stayed in the gym, I stayed dedicated, and Ben always said to me, look, you just stay focused. You are gonna do things. You're gonna do big things, and you just stay focused and watch it work out. And you know what? I want to give a massive credit to myself as well, because a lot of people then would have been disheartened. There would have been this and that, but I feel like my struggles made me. You know what I mean?
Well, only you know what's gone on in the background, and only you know how tough it's been as well. But fair
Yeah.
play to you for
It's been
that.
hard, man. It's been hard, but I know how good I am. This is nothing. This is just the start, man. I'm stepping on toes in 2023. I'm coming through. I want more titles. I want bigger fights, and that's the road to world titles. That's what I want to do.
And there's an old saying in boxing: teamwork makes the dream work. I understand that you've
100%.
worked a bit now with Probellum. How happy are you with the way things are progressing? And can we expect you to see you continue to work with Probellum in 2020?
Yeah, 100%, 100%, 100%. They've done a really good job with me, especially this last show was amazing. It was a very good show. So we're going to see what happens, and big 2023. But the ultimate goal for me is just stepping forward, stepping forward. I want world titles. Within 2 years, I want world titles, man. I'm top 10 in the WBA, WBA champion as well, intercontinental champion. On box record, number 18 in the world. I've only had 11 fights. I'm still a bit of a baby in the game, as they say. But I know in the next 2-3 years, I will be world champion.
Well, fingers crossed. That's what you're in the game for, and
Inshallah.
you've gathered yourself a ranking with the WBA. You're pushing yourself up as time goes by. I've got to ask you about Sam Jones. Now, a lot of people have got an opinion about Sam. I actually think the guy has done tremendously well in boxing, and it's his sort of breakout year in terms of managing shows, managing fighters. How far do you think Sam Jones has come as a sort of manager / promoter, and how far do you think he goes as time goes on?
Man, he's done really well. He come on the scene out of nowhere, and he's done his thing, man. He's making big noises. He's got he's the UK head of Probellum as well, and he's doing a good thing, man. He's doing good things for everyone.
2023 is going to be a big year for you, and hopefully it's going to be a big year for boxing. But obviously, we've got to talk about what went down this weekend at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Tyson Fury retaining his world heavyweight title. I remember when I first interviewed you, and I asked you about Tyson Fury, and you said to me, "Listen, no one's beating that guy." And now
I don't think anyone is, but
Usyk.
I still believe that. But I do know Usyk will be his hardest test, though. I feel like Usyk will be his hardest test because of the way how Usyk's brain is, and he's an awkward fighter, man. You gotta understand, he's a very awkward fighter, and stylistically, it's a tough fight. But if he gets his tactics spot on, I think Tyson could make it look really easy as well. But let's see. On the night, you gotta get it right as well.
Shabazz, obviously, you have to look at how good tactically both fighters are. Their boxing IQ is arguably probably the best in the business right now. The footwork is head work is brilliant. They've, the IQ behind their punching styles is brilliant. Do we expect this fight to be a sort of a chess match, or could you see this being a classical heavyweight war?
I can't see it being a war. I can see it being a proper boxing match. Both of them trying to figure each other out. However, is one going to force the pace? I reckon if anyone's going to force the pace, it's going to have to be the bigger guy. Tyson, you use your size, your advantages. However, it depends what Usyk does as well. And Tyson's a very versatile fighter. And I think Tyson can do it, you know what I mean? If someone would literally put a gun to my head and said, who would you pick for the fight? I'd put my money on Tyson. But I could see Usyk giving him problems.
Well, we've seen Tyson Fury sort of, you know, adapt to becoming more of a slugger. We saw that in the last two fights with Deontay Wilder, and people have said, but we've never really seen Alexander Usyk tested. But you have to go back to that ninth round in the second fight, Anthony Joshua. You know, he was hurt. It looked as if AJ was going to get him out of there, and then what he did in those 3 rounds after that round was sensational. So, what do you think Tyson's got to do? Because I think Usyk's kind of proven he can take a punch from a heavyweight. I mean, what does Tyson have to do if that fight does happen to beat Usyk, and what game plan would you like to see him sort of execute on the night?
I feel like use your size, use your advantages, step to him, let him know you're the bigger man, and force the pace. Fight his fight. You know what I mean? Tyson's fight. You need to. You can't let Usyk get in his rhythm. Once Usyk's in his rhythm and he's setting you up with shots, then it's a hard night for anyone. But I feel like if Tyson uses his brain, step to him, but educated pressure as well, not just stepping to him and getting caught. Educated pressure, setting him up. I think Tyson would beat him, but you got to see how he goes about it. So that's the biggest thing as well. A lot of fighters, like, they may have better tools than someone, but on fight night they don't get it right, and that's because it's knowing what to do at the right time. And will Tyson's team and will Tyson be able to do that? I think he will. I think he can.
Well, only time will tell, and that is a fight we really, really want to see, and hopefully we're going to get it at some point in 2023. Shabaz, I'm not going to keep you too long because I know you were watching the football, and I know you've got an early start.
I think it's finished now, man. They hammered him.
Well, I might as well ask you, how far do England go in the World Cup? We know they've got France on Saturday. Can England win it?
I hope it comes home, to be honest with you. I've got my England top, and I hope it comes home, but I don't know, man. They got France. If they can put in a big performance against France, anything is possible.
Well, you're not the only one hoping that 56-year wait finally comes to an end. Shabaz, floor's all yours. What would you like to say? What can we expect to see from you in 2023? And I'm pretty sure there's a message for fans out there and sponsors. The floor's all yours. Take it away.
Just tune in, man. Just tune in next year. Next year, you're going to see big wins, knockouts. You're going to see skills. You're going to see showboating. You're going to see everything, man. You're going to see a technician in there breaking people down as well. Just tune in, man, and don't blink.
Top man. Well, listen, Shabaz Masoud, a pleasure as always. Thank you very much for your time, not only for tonight, but also throughout this year. You've given us quite a few interviews.
100%. Anytime for you, man.
And we really appreciate it. And we're really, really enjoying what we're seeing in the ring. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, and we hope you have a successful 2023.
Thank you, inshallah. Big 2023 coming.
Shabaz Masoud, thank you very much for talking to Lights Out.
Nice one. Thank you, Faisal.